Okay, so my application is RestoNet. It's an application that presents to the user restaurant and food businesses inspection. The data comes from the City of Montreal. There used to be a website a few years ago, and a year ago it was shut down, but I'm not related to this website. I did an Android application for phone. The first thing you see when you start up the application is this screen, which is basically a list view showing the restaurant name in blue, the fine that was given to the restaurant, the date of the judgment, and a button that'll get you onto that'll show you the location of the restaurant on the Montreal map using Google Maps. And the source of the data is the City of Montreal's open data website. And as you can see, the data is there, and it's being updated every month. As soon as they have new inspections, they update the data. But unfortunately, the data is only available in XML and CSV. So for anyone who wants to look at it, well, the next slide will show you what it looks like. It's not very useful if you're planning on going out to a restaurant. You don't want to look at this. So this is my raw data. As you can see, you see the restaurant name, the owner, the restaurant, the infraction description, the fine, and the date and everything. So basically, that's where I start. Next slide. So basically, if you click on an item in the list, you get a detailed view of the infraction details. You have essentially the text that comes from the XML, and which is much more friendly and useful. And my application is also rotatable. So it sounds very banal, but it's a lot of work to get this to work. And the next step is to calling Google Maps, and what actually happens is I'm showing an entire view of the City of Montreal. Every red dot is an infraction, and if you click on the specific item on the list, there's a marker that appears that shows you which restaurant you selected. And if you hit the marker tab, it'll get you to the details view. And again, I'm using the backstack because these are all fragments. And backstack will get me here, and again, will get me back to the original fragment. Next. So there is also a global map button in the bottom menu. And this will show you all every infraction in the city. Every dot is clickable, and if you click on any one of them, you get the marker tab. And again, if you hit the marker tab, you get the details view, and you're back. And the whole thing just folds together, and it's rotatable. And it's also a tabbed application, so I'm using action bar tabs. Basically, this application is 4.0 upwards. I haven't written it as downward compatible, probably the next step. I didn't want to get into that. I thought it was kind of messy. So the next step is I'm just ordering the restaurants in the order of the fine, the highest at the top, so you can see who's really bad. And there's also, okay, well, it's all right. Okay. Well, no. The other tab is, I think it's the most interesting. It orders in the number of infractions a restaurant has had. And as you can see, expectation, again, this is a specific expectation. It's not all expectations. That same one has had 13 fines. So you see the little fermé logo, that tells you that it was closed down. That information is in the XML. And again, if you click on a specific item on this fragment, it shows you all the fines for that specific restaurant. And again, if you click on that, you will get the detailed view of each one of them. And then you can go back and backstack. Okay,
1 minute.
1 minute. There's also a search tool that's very useful. Let's say you want to go out and you want to make sure that restaurant hasn't been found. You just click on the search button, and we'll bring up the regular search tool, and you can look up the name. So as the example here is cafe, and it shows you all the restaurants that have the word cafe in them, just a basic SQL. And again, you can click on it and see all the details, look it up on the map and everything. Okay. And also, I plan on providing the application with the database pre-installed, but it's also possible for the user to update the data. So I put in a little button that brings you to this screen, which asks for confirmation. And if you're okay with that, it's going to update all the data from the city. And essentially, what I'm doing is I'm getting all the XML, doing some Android SAX parser, and putting everything in memory in like a big array of objects, each object being a row of data. And so I'm looping and storing that into an SQL database, SQLite. But the other little problem I had is for the map, the city gives the data, and the address data is given in street name and city and postal code. So I actually do some geocoding to get the latitude, longitude.
We're done on time. If you want to go quickly through the slides, thank you.
Well, I was just covering SQL, as everyone knows SQLite is part of Android. And I'm also using loader managers. So I was forced to use loader managers because the scrolling was kind of shaky. And with loader managers, you get very smooth scrolling. And that's it.
Cool. Hey, very nice stuff.